Hey everybody, Joe Malone here, comes to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. Well, the market the market is off today. Oh, the market's off today. Well, yeah, oh well. There is one thing that's holding up though, and that's Microsoft. That's Microsoft. Now, I did a bull I did a spread trade on Moderna today. I hope I don't regret that, but it does look like it's really taken off. I don't know if it's you can get in on that, unfortunately. But I tell you what, I've got a other thing that's going on. If you go to if you go to my profile on TikTok, I've got a nice this spread trade on Moderna that you might want to take a look at. And of course, if you're looking on YouTube, it's www Dallas Trading Floor. So let's, without further ado, get into some of the slides here. And basically, what's going on? What's going on here is that we have got the Dow is off, 325 points, but Microsoft is holding up. So kind of interesting on it. Just kind of want to show you the Microsoft chart. Microsoft came down, and then it bounced right on the 21-day line. That's a good sign from relative strength is moving up. So at least one of the big techs is doing well. Of course, Apple has been under a little bit of pressure, as we know. I actually and I actually got stopped out of my position in Apple just right before the show. It's just one of those things. I what I did is I put my stop loss in up pretty tight so that I could, so that I could exit with a small profit. I'm out of Apple for the first time in a long time. And it's just strange stuff. Um, Stock of the day for IBD, Investors Business Daily, is AMAT, Applied Materials. This is a company that makes equipment for the semiconductor industry. One of their biggest clients, of course, is MU, which is Micron. They're doing quite well. I mean, they're doing quite well. There's another one, ASML. This group has been improving a lot. It's 47 out of 197 in terms of the money, and it is a consolidation pattern. So this is one you might want to kind of look at. I'm currently not in AMAT, but I do like its action. It's basically been consolidating for about 24 weeks, which is a long time, but that's what you need to make it move higher. You need that long consolidation, and it does look like there's a buy point on it at 146.10. So that's looking pretty good. We're right under that buy point. So we'll see if it can make it all the way up there. We could possibly buy it as it moves above the 50-day line. That's a pretty aggressive buy point. You don't want to go in with a full position there, maybe only a half. And But it has a 99 score for the composite rating. That's excellent. Just want to say. And yeah, so this is one you want to put on your radar. Again, these are the techs that seem to be holding on there. Oil's off a little bit today. The XLE is down a little bit, but that's kind of the way it's going. Kind of want to show you the two of the options trades that, by the way, our members. First of all, the Discord members, of course, get total access to this, but also, if you want to take a look at some of these, super easy. Just go to www.dallastradingfloor.com and then just sign up, first and last name and email address. We'll kind of show you this. We did this is a bear trade, which seems to be doing quite well. This is a bear call spread on 3M, and you can take a look at this full deck. Not a problem. All you have to do again is go to either www.dallastradingfloor to take a look at the deck, or if you're looking on TikTok, just go to my profile, click the link, and you will see it. It says beacons, and you'll be able to also sign up for the action trade alerts on this too as well. So currently, 3M is trading at 185. The price has moved down, and of course, with a bear trade, as the price moves down, the value of the trade goes up. For a one contract spread, we're looking at about this should be about $47 profit, basically in a few days. So hopefully, it's going to move closer to the 165 total profit. But this is a bear call spread, so as the price of the stock goes down, the value goes up on this trade. Now, reversing that, we have an upward trending trade. This one isn't doing as well. This is on Mark. The current price on Merck is 72.19. This is basically going to do better if Merck is able to struggle back to about 72 $72. This hopefully will trade, will change direction. One of the great things about a spread trade is that as you get closer, of course, you can change the direction by adjusting the trade by rolling it, and that's what I might be ending up doing with this one. Currently, the value of this one, I'm down about 33 from this. This is Merck. We're kind of expecting it to bounce here, hopefully, and move higher. If it doesn't, then of course we will adjust the trade. But that's one of the great things about spread trading. And I do a lot of that when the market is kind of going sideways. And right now the market is sort of sideways and or it's a little bit down, and that kind of is kind of a bummer. But this is a way you can eke out a profit in that kind of condition. Again, I still holding Nvidia. I pushed the stop loss up very tight on this one, but it's up just slightly today. ST Banker, this is the gift that keeps on giving. I'm just going to hold on to this as long as it continues to make profit. It's up about $1.16, which is excellent considering it's only $46 stock. Palantir is up today, just slightly, not a lot for Palantir. I have a top build. It's down tremendously. I'm going to see what I may be out of this one based on this. I might have stopped out of this one. PKI, that's PerkinElmer, it's up just slightly. Goldman is down about $5. Not too worried about this. This is trading in a range from about $400 to about $415. So hopefully we can break through that. And again, we're off a little bit on the XLE Spider. I tell you what, I'm mostly in cash right now. It's amazing. It's amazing that that I would say that, but I'm mostly in cash right now, and it just seems to be the way of the market. So, without further ado, let's get to some of the questions. Thanks for waiting, everybody. I hope you're having um, a nice Tuesday. And I certainly am. So let me see if I can kind of get this a little bit sized properly, because that's where I've been kind of falling down on this. I'm going to try to size this one properly here. So let's get it kind of in there and move it down to more manageable size, about 100%. There we go. Okay, so let's go over to some of the questions and see. Let's look at the spider. Thanks, Jay, very much, and thanks for. I found out that apparently there's somebody else on TikTok that is trying to use my name, which is really strange. I guess that's a good thing that I'm getting known out there, but I'm gonna have to deal with that. Apparently, they got 6,000 people already, so hopefully it's not too much of a contention there. But it looks like somebody is trying to use my name. I really appreciate one of my Discord people for pointing that out. For everybody watching out there, I just kind of want to kind of put it out. Let me see if I can put out that information. So I appreciate. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, and here it is. Thank you very much for doing this, Kyle. You're I really appreciate that. So I'm just going to kind of show you sort of a situation that I have. Let's put it out there in just a second. I'll get this up. Okay, there we go. So this was somebody very kind in the Discord room, and I'm just pulling up a place to put this. Okay, and there we go. Let's see if I can put a slide up. Thanks for bearing with me. So let's kind of just push that picture out. And I kind of want to show everybody out there that basically, oops, too many controls. There we go. So, if you know who this is, please, please tell me. Please tell me. I think I can blow it up a little bit, but so basically, the person that's out there that's sort of impersonating me is J.K. Malone, Malone dot E. I'm actually J.K. Malone, J.K. Malone. So I am actually, my handle is my handle on TikTok is at JKMALONE. So that is my that's my address on TikTok is JK Malone. So if you see it out there, I would appreciate I would appreciate you telling. There's somebody that is impersonating me with the handle JKMLNE.e. So thanks for telling me that, Kyle. Really really appreciate it. Really really appreciate it. That was very kind of you to do that. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these questions. Oops. And we have TikTok Live. Thank you very much. Da da da. Thank you. Okay, joined. Excellent. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Um, let's see. Uh, oh, okay. I'm gonna invite somebody else on TikTok. All right. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. But thank you very very much for that. Okay. So let's take a look at NVIDIA. Let me pull up NVIDIA. Kind of see what's going on here with NVIDIA. And of course, everybody knows I'm holding NVIDIA. Really like it. We have a cup with handle situation. We have a cup with handle situation. We're sort of handling out here. It's starting to move above the 21-day line. So here's what I would say with NVIDIA. I'm just going to give it some more time. I've pushed my stop loss up a little bit to right here, and I just kind of want to point that out. My stop loss currently on NVIDIA 216.35. So basically, right here, it's right at the 21-day line. So I kind of want to show you that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So that's sort of my line in the sand with NVIDIA. I want to make sure that it's trading above that. It's trading above that that little rise there. So I do have a stop loss set on NVIDIA at 216.50. So if you do have NVIDIA, that might be a good place to kind of draw the line in the sand. And we have another question on AMD. Now I haven't been in AMD since I was stopped out at 115. This is a really tough stock to trade. I'll be honest with you. I have spent a ton of time, and I don't have my charts up here, but I ran it up here, and then this is why I like to trade with stops because I was able to stop it there. But now we're seeming to see we finally I think have a reversal on on AMD. So what I'm looking at is I'm going to draw a reversal line there, and I'm going to set an alert on that line. And basically, it does look like it does look like the AMD is getting some support at the 40-day line, and then hopefully it looks like it's reversed. It'll come through the 21-day line and then up. So what I would do is recommending kind of setting an alert, and I'm going to edit that. But I think where you ought to be possibly looking to um, get into to AMD is at about 107. That's kind of where I'm seeing it, and there you go. Okay, so it's right at basically at the 21-day line. Currently, we're at 105.83. So here's what I would do with AMD. This is kind of a trading plan I would do. I do think we're going to see a reversal on AMD. So this tends to be a very good stock. I want to check the checklist. 100% checklist. It's got 2641 funds in it and the very best funds. So here's what I would recommend with AMD. I think that you could make a very good case for doing for doing a buy stop limit order. So it's a buy stop limit order, and basically the where I would go get there we go stop limit order buy stop limit. I got to get this going there. Limit order. So for this one, the stop would be at 107 107.50, and the limit would be the 107.60. So basically, what I would kind of recommend in a way that you could possibly participate in AMD, and I do think that we're going to see a reversal there. I want to see it reverse above that line, but a very aggressive entry point would be this this buy stop limit order 107.50, and then as it moves up 107.60. That's where I would want to start building a position in AMD. I do think we're going to see a reversal on it. We do have a nice we do have a very nice volume bar. We're still coming up in volume. I think it's pulled back, and I think it's getting ready to move higher. So this is a potential reversal on this is a potential reversal. So that is a good place to buy a stock is on a reversal. It's on a reversal as it moves above that line. So that's kind of my take on AMD. So if I currently don't have a position in AMD, but I am looking to rotate some of my stuff, and I do want to get exposure to the chip area. I already have NVIDIA, but what I'm doing with NVIDIA is I'm going to start taking profits in NVIDIA, hopefully waiting for it to move higher. So that is they're both excellent they're both excellent in this. Currently, I have NVIDIA. I'm looking possibly to take a little bit of profits on NVIDIA and then possibly move into AMD. But I want to make sure that AMD reverses higher. AMD is much tougher to trade than NVIDIA. Mark wants us to take a look at Disney, DIS, and of course this is a Dow component. There's only 30 stocks in the Dow, by the way, but this is still struggling to make some headway against this reversal line. It did reverse higher. That's why this has been tripped, but now it's pulled back down over there. So right now it's not ready to go. I wish it was. The relative strength on this one is 60. This is a good stock, but I still think this has got a little bit more basing action to go. And what do I mean by that? Well, a stock will move up as it did. It got Walt Disney 20302 kind of was its high, and then once it breaks that, then it will base. It will come all the way, and it usually takes it takes a while. In the case of Disney, we're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, really 6 months. It's been in this basing pattern. This is a consolidation format. So if we could reverse above this trend line with conviction, then it's probably going to go higher. But right now, I just think you can't do anything there. Unfortunately, it just needs to base longer, and it's just one of those things. So this is a watch list for now. And we've got to wait on it. We've got to we've got to wait. So it's this watch list for now, and we really can't do anything. We just have to wait, and that's always tough to do. But that's kind of where we're at in terms of in terms of in terms of Disney. So here's the thing I would say. Here's the thing I would say about Disney. It's just a watch list for now, and that's really all we can do. It's still pulling back. I'm hoping for it to reverse, but it just doesn't look good enough right now to be to be going on that. So what can I say? What can I say? Thanks for the opportunity. Now, applied materials is different. That is AMAT. This is IBD's stock of the day, and we do have some potentially good. Oh, I'm sorry. This is American Tower. Excuse me. Thank you, Paulie. American Tower is a very good company. Basically, Crown. There's another one in the street, but unfortunately, looking at this pattern, and this is a tough market to buy them. This has been just a really tough market to sort of eke anything out. Right now, I don't think it's buyable because basically the last buy point on it 255.28, and we were currently above the buy point. So yeah, it's just creeping up here. It's a good company, but you just don't want to buy them extended. So right now, this stock is extended, so you can't really buy it. You can't really buy it, so it's extended. You just have to, wait for another base. That's really all, and that's really all you can do. That's really all you can do in this market. Is it's extended. We just have to wait for another base on it, and then we might be able to do something with this. But right now, American Tower, it's in the REIT category, which has been doing very very well. Um, but it's just not at a place that we can buy it, and I wish it were, but it's just one of those things that it's difficult to buy at this level. It's difficult to buy at this level. Okay, can you explain what is in multi-sig Bitcoin, please? I don't know what that is, but that is kind of good idea. Let's kind of look in on the Bitcoin world here a little bit. And the way I do this, first of all, is I use a proxy called GBTC, which is um, this is a ETF that holds approximately 4% of the world's Bitcoin. So it tends to be a very good proxy for Bitcoin, and allows us to do certain things that if we just had to look at the price of Bitcoin that we couldn't do. Mainly it allows us to compare volume, and volume is very very key. Here's the thing I'm seeing. I'm seeing it basically stagnate along this line. So my question is, are we going to be able to move um, through some of those prices on Bitcoin? Let me see if I can bring up the Bitcoin price chart here so that we can get an idea on that and see. Basically, with the way it works is that it basically has to do with obviously the volume. That's really going to give us the kind of look see that we need. So let's go. There we go. All right. So hopefully I can bring this chart up here. All right. And basically what's happening, of course, is Bitcoin is pulling back. It moved all the way up here, basically to 52,656 on September 6th. But, as you can see, it's been pulling back. The thing about when you're buying crypto, it's always best to buy it when it is convincingly moving to another pivot. So I probably wouldn't be a buyer here. I would be more interested in Bitcoin if it's able to cross the $52,000 level. That's going to be where I'm most interested in it. Now, of course, there's several forks of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin Cash is probably would make more sense to trade. And let me just pull this up. This is the second by volume. This is typically the second the second largest Bitcoin. Yeah, and this is I think this is a more reasonable way to trade Bitcoin, and that is with Bitcoin Cash. Let's pull it back to there. See if I can get that. See if I can get that up here. All right, so let's see if I can pull up the Bitcoin Cash. This is probably, if you're going to trade the Bitcoin directly, this is probably the best way to do it. and I use the GBTC, but this is also a good alternative, and that is Bitcoin Cash. You can see it kind of almost mirrors the Bitcoin price, but again, we've been following. There should be some support right here at about 600. But I think that if we really want to take a look, and I'm going to take a look back at the GBTC to see kind of what the situation is with the overall price. All right, and there we go. And with the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Cash, they're kind of following the same pattern. It's pulling back, and let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit so we can kind of look at it. And just pulling in on the action. Um, Sort of similar to the kind of action that we had, you saw in the actual underlying instruments, but it does appear we're starting to see a little bit of support here. I just wouldn't be interested in this until GBTC moves above 41. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to put an alert on that line, and what that should allow us to do is that this will alert us when Bitcoin is coming to a place to buy. But right now, I just think you've got to be real careful with Bitcoin. It seems to be pulling back at least in the short term. Now, in the long term, it's a totally different story with Bitcoin. I do think that Bitcoin definitely has legs, but right now, in terms of if you're trading it, I would really wait until the GBTC moves above 41.18, and if it does, then I think we could possibly move in to it. All right. How will the market react to the quad witching on Friday? Good for the following weeks. Here's the thing about quad witching, and as a matter of fact, any big event like this, what you probably want to do is we probably want to lighten up. I kind of recommend possibly trimming some positions. That's what I have been doing with my portfolio. I'm mostly in cash right now. I've been selling, and I have not been replacing them a lot. Typically, what will happen is you want to sell into strength, wait for the quad witching to happen, and then buy on the other side. It's really too risky, I typically think, unless you have your really strong position, you're up more than 10% to hold anything through. So that's kind of my point, Mark. I think you want to be in cash when the quad witching happens. That's a very, very good question, though. All right, Capital One. Thanks, Jay. And of course, this is COF is the symbol for Capital One Financial. So let's get Capital One Financial up here, and back a little bit. There we go. It's COF is the symbol for Capital One. So there we go. Over to Capital One. Let's look at the chart. All right, Capital One has been pulling back, and really, there's only one bank that right now seems to be firing on all cylinders, and that's Silicon Valley Bank. And I want to show you that one right after this. Good relative strength on this, 91. On the weekly chart, we're looking. Starting to sales are starting to go up a little bit. I was thinking that this one would be doing much better than it was. I had Capital One. I was looking as it came out of this consolidation. I thought it would be more powerful, but it does not seem to be getting as much strength, unfortunately. The profit, they just absolutely blew out profit numbers, 597% quarter over quarter increase. So they should be doing, I think, far better than they're doing. But you can't argue with the market. That's the thing. The market is going to tell you, it's going to give you the feedback. So right now, if you're down more than 7% on this one, I'd recommend, of course, selling, and then waiting for a better setup. This should be doing better, but you just don't know. Uh, I was in this right before earnings. I sold right before earnings. And we did get we did get a little bit of uptrend after earnings, but since then it's just been kind of, unfortunately, not going the right direction. So you would think that this is a number two area in the market, and you would think that this is doing better. So I want to look around to see sort of what is trading that we can look at. in this area, because this area is, potentially really a good area. It's rated number 2 out of all of the ranks. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sort again. There it is. Oops, I almost got that. Okay, so we're going to see if we can sort it. Well, it's not letting me do that. Come on. All right. Well, I don't want to see the energy solar. I know that's not the one that's working. So let's see if I can. Let's see if it'll let me sort. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So we're going from bad to worse. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way down. Now, normally I would be going the opposite direction, but I sorted it backwards. So consumer finance loans, number 2 out of all the groups. So this is the entire group, 99 relative strength. Now, what are the top stocks in there? Well, of course, Onyx, Santander. I really like Santander. Santander is a um, uh, subprime auto finance, and I think that the odd thing about Santander is that it's very tight right now, but it seems to be holding on. I don't have it anymore. I did have this one, but this is the best in the group. So really, I'm kind of mixed feelings. I think that the performance for COF should be better, but it definitely isn't. So I probably would not be a buyer of COF right now, unfortunately. Okay, let's look at S&P 500. Let's look at the spider, because that's kind of going to tell the tale. Um, we did have um, uh, we did have a distribution day on the Nasdaq dropped off, so we only have 3 distribution days, but that's still a lot. And it does seem like I do see some weakening in the market. It looks like this is going to just come right down to the 50-day moving average, and we're going to probably see it get some support here. That would be, let's see if I can get it. Come on. We should be seeing some. They should be seeing some support. There we go. At the 50-day line, which is 441. Currently, it's at 444. So it does appear like I would suspect that we are probably going to get a blue day tomorrow on the spider. That's what it's looking like to me, because it does look like it's seeing the bottom, at least in the temporary bottom. Yeah, okay, and it's gotten strength right at the close. So I do think this will probably tick up a little bit, but not a whole lot. Maybe 4 points or so. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. But I do think that the S&P seems to be gathering some strength once again, which would be really nice, because that's where we need to see some strength. Now there's the 1/3 of the S&P 500 are banks. So this has been, we think this would be stronger. We do have some banks that are strong. I'm currently in Goldman Sachs, but that's sort of not a really original bank, and it's a little bit different. You would think that if we were going to have higher interest rates, we would see a better action on the banks, but that's not been the case. The banks have, and again, this is I'm going to show you the chart for Goldman today. You would think that you would think this would be up, but it isn't. It did move up, but then it pulled back. So it's right, but it's right in the buy zone. I mean, you definitely could buy Goldman Sachs here, and the financials are probably one of the best performing sectors, 89% um, on the checklist. But it's just a very tough market right now. It's a very shaky market, and we may be getting close to we may be looking at for a correction here pretty soon. But right now we're still in confirmed uptrend. So everyone is saying you shouldn't keep money in the bank, but where else do you put it? Well, you could put it under a mattress, or you could buy gold coins, or possibly even Bitcoin. A lot of people are using Bitcoin as a hedge against this devaluation that is coming to cash. But one of the things I want to tell you, and this is so odd, you think, well, everything else is getting expensive. We have all this inflation, and that's all true. But the interesting thing, the reason the real problem we're having right now, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people are talking about is that we have a deflation problem. What do I mean by that? Well, the problem that we may face because of this quantitative easing by the Federal Reserve is we may have a situation very shortly in which we're not able to cover the debt, we're not able to cover the interest payments with the current debt ceiling. And of course, Congress is going to try to raise the debt ceiling, but they may be unsuccessful. Um, and that's going to mean that there's going to be an awful lot of loans, both inside and outside the United States, that are demanding their payment in dollars. Well, if we're not expanding credit, then this will be a difficulty, and it will lead to the fall in asset values like real estate that have these big mortgages against them. Well, that's deflationary. So I think the thing that we really have to worry about, and of a lot of things, is we're going to have to worry about deflation in assets and in dollar denominated assets. So this is one of the reasons why I'm looking and I'm saying, what can I do? Where can I go? He said, Jim, it's next to impossible. Well, there are some alternatives, and one of the ones I like right now is a company called Meli, Meli. It's called Mercado Libre. It's based in, um, of all places, Argentina, but it is showing an awful lot of strength, and I just think, I'm trying to put together a spread trade on this one. I just think that this one has some super potential, and I want to kind of show you the reversal line. I'm going to draw a reversal line. As you can see, it's moved right to the reversal line. So I want to see if it's going to move above there. I'm looking to possibly put a spread on this one, um, going higher. But this is looking very very good. It's Mercado Libre, and they get they're totally outside of the United States, and so they're getting most of their business in Latin America. They're big in Mexico, and they're big in many of the other Latin Americans. This is one that you probably want to put on your watch list. Definitely have it on mine. I'm trying to figure out how to trade it. But so I think putting us on our watch list is a good idea. Mercado Libre. So let me kind of let me pull that. Let me pull off that sticker so you can see that there. There we go. I was putting an overlay on there, but this is one that you might want to put on your radar screen. Very very strong. It's an extremely expensive stock, but it just keeps on going. Probably the way to play this is with options. I don't have an options play for you yet on it, but I'm looking at it, and it's becoming much more appealing to me because I do think that there is going to be a problem unfortunately with dollar denominated some dollar denominated assets. As a matter of fact, I was just got off the phone with my brother, and I am in the process of selling a house that I have in California. Why? Because I do think that we may be seeing a topping of the real estate market as well. So, anyways, that's one thing. Okay, I didn't cover the spider. Let's cover the spider right now. Sorry that I didn't get that I didn't get to the spider. So let's cover the spider as we speak. Thanks for that. SPY, and of course, this is the 500 stocks that are in the S&P 500. Um, this is basically them. It's a little bit different because it's an ETF. It's been a solid performer. My guess is we're going to see a bounce here at the 50-day moving average. So I think we're going to see it reverse right here at about 440. So here's what I recommend. If it moves above about 445, then I think you could possibly buy it on the reversal. This is not an optimal place to buy it, but but I think that it could be bought there. So with the spider, wait for it to move above 445, and this is going to be the reversal. So this is kind of how I see that you could trade that you could trade this you could trade this stock. I mean this ETF. Oops, not watch list. There we go. No, for the spider, you basically got to wait until it bounces right here and then moves higher. Now it does look like it's opening up a little bit higher after hours, 444. So the way to buy this one, it does look like we're going to see a bounce. So you can see it periodically. It looks like it's tested. It comes down, it tests, comes down, it tests, comes down, it tests. So it looks like we're going to see a bounce here. So this is not a bad place to buy it. Here's what I would recommend um, doing. Here's what I recommend doing is a buy stop limit order on the spider, and the stop would be equal to 445. The limit is equal to 445.50, 445.10. Okay, so that's kind of how I if that's sort of how I recommend. That's sort of how I recommend doing this with the spider. As you can see, it kind of comes down and periodically bounces here. We're in a situation where that's going to be the case. So if this thing opens up more than 445 tomorrow, the limit order at 445.10 will get you in at a very nice price. And then this is a good one. We are still in a confirmed uptrend. I'm cutting back on a little bit of my purchase. I'm just trying to find the right thing to buy right now. It's tough. This is a very hard market right now because we kind of two steps forward, one step back. All right, let's review Palantir. I'm currently in Palantir, believe it or not, and I do long term. I really like this company, and it is currently right in a buy zone. So this is something that I kind of want to show to everybody. Here, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on this chart. See if I can get a yeah. There we go. So we can kind of see this because it's tough, on the screen. It's tough to see kind of what the action is. But basically, we have this cup with handle. There is a actual buy point at 25.94. It's above the reversal line, which I've drawn here. So that's all looking good. We're right at the pivot and we're right in the buy zone. This has got a 91 relative strength. So basically, believe it or not, 78 checklist. So we can start buying at this point. Now, if we don't own this stock, I've got this little mark in here is where I have my stop loss in. Yeah, I have a little bit. I think I have a full position in this one, but I have this stop loss in there in case it moves below that 200-day line. So I do think this is viable right now. Palantir. I do think this one is viable right as we speak, but you have to be super careful in the way that you buy it. Okay, I just wanted to talk to everybody on TikTok. I am simulcasting all of the charts and everything on www.youtube.com. So to ask a question, just go to youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor, and you can see you'll be able to see the live that we're doing. If you're on TikTok, also it's even easier to get there. Just go click on the um, um, just go click on my profile, go down, hit the beacons, and then all the way down at the bottom, you should be able to see. You should be able to get a link there. But anyways, the address youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor. So let's go to the next question. Thank you very much for that. And this is let's move out a little bit. And this one is plug power. Boy, I think I get a question every day on plug power. Um, it's sometimes things will come back, but right now I just don't think I can get too excited about plug power because we're below that critical 200-day line. So I don't like that. Let's look at the checklist. It's got a 56 checklist. I think with this one, you just have to. Sometimes you just got to throw in the towel, and this one, so you just have to. So really, with this one, basically, you just you just have to you just have to say uncle. I mean, it's just one of those things. I hope you're not down more than 7%. If you're more than down more than 7% on this one, I know it's going to be painful to rip that band-aid off, but don't let this thing go further down, because this this stock could very, very, very easily move much, much lower based on what I'm seeing here. I mean, it could easily go down to $5. You see, because it's been there before. It's sort of, it went up and then it's pulling back. So, we're probably looking at the next stop is about 18. So if you're down more than, if you're down more than about 7% on this one, consider selling it, because I don't think, at least in the trend that I'm seeing, unless it reverses, it doesn't look like the kind of thing you want to do. I mean, you can easily waste a lot of capital on this. So if I was down more than 7% on this one, I, uh, you are, um, if you are down more than 7%, please consider selling. And there's there's very, very good evidence for this. To get a to get if you're down more than 7%, if you let it go to 10 or 15 or 20%, you're never going to get back to zero, because if you let it go down 50%, to get back to zero takes 100% move on the stock, and that just generally doesn't happen. So here's the thing, with plug, consider, if you're down this much, consider selling it, or at least selling half of it, and taking the money and possibly putting in something that's gonna move better than that. All right, so we're gonna look at Starbucks, SUX, and this is sort of the ultimate reopening play. I think it's SBX. Is that it? SBX. Starbucks is a very good company. Let's see if I can. It would be helpful if I can get the I can get it up here. Hold on, hold on. Let's look at SUX. The SBUX. I think that's it, right? Yeah, Starbucks. Okay. So here's the chart of Starbucks. This is sort of, this is the long-term leader. It absolutely is. Relative strength of 72. I'd like to see it a little higher, but this thing has just been moving right up. It's in a consolidation. It's on the flat base, so that is looking very good. Let's kind of zoom in on it. Take a look at that flat base to see if there's an entry point here on this stock. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, yeah, it's moved right above that 50-day moving average. So that's a very good sign. That's a very, very good sign. The buy point, the proper buy point on Starbucks is basically on a flat base at about 123. We're currently at 118. So here's what I would do. If you do want to get into this one, it does look very good. This is a very good chart. Let's look at the checklist. 78 checklist. This is great. It's coming back a lot. It's 26 retail restaurants. If there's going to be anybody that survives in this business, it's going to be Starbucks. Look at their sales; they're up 78%, 320% in terms of sales. So this looks like a very good entry point actually for Starbucks. Let's see if I can zoom in to kind of see if I can produce a reversal line or something like that. That's going to allow us to kind of analyze this, sort of the proper entry for Starbucks. But I do really like this chart. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we do have, this is a flat base, and if we draw a reversal line here, it did pull back a little bit today. That's where we want to sort of consider entering. Let's see if I can get it to, well, maybe not. I'm going to zoom out here a little bit, and there we go. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is create a reversal line, and this would be the place to buy Starbucks, is as it moves above that reversal line. So I'm going to put a reversal line on it. Basically, what this is that we're getting some very nice action on this. And as it crosses above there, that's a place you could possibly look at buying at least a half a position. So about 118.75, and currently we're right at that 118. So literally, if this thing can hold through tomorrow, and I wouldn't buy this in the first hour, but if this thing moves above about 119 tomorrow, this possibly is a buy. So I very much like this look. So if this opens above 119 tomorrow, consider a one half position. So this is definitely looking quite good. You could definitely buy. It's definitely at a place that you can buy it. It's definitely in a place you can buy it. It's a strong stock. It's come through earnings, so everything's pretty much lining up on this one. So this is definitely. Oops, there we go. This is definitely a stock that you could consider. So if this thing opens above about 119 tomorrow, which is Wednesday, consider buying a half a position. And what do I mean by a half a position? Well, a half a position is if you take your entire portfolio, let's say your portfolio is worth $8,000, and you divide it up into 8 pizza slices. Each of these pizza slices is $1,000. That's one full position. So it's essentially about 1/8 of the dollar value of your portfolio. Now, I wouldn't recommend buying an entire for Starbucks if it moves above 118. I wouldn't recommend buying a full position, but a half position is definitely something you ought to look at, and that would be about a five. If on an $8,000 portfolio, that would be about $500. So that's something to look at. So Starbucks is looking very good. I appreciate that question. That's really that's really shown us the place that we can smoke out. We can smoke it out. Oh, great! I use market size as well. And there's a way that you could. Is there a way that you could view stocks bouncing off the 50-day moving average? Yes, there is, Byron. You can go through and well, let's see. That is a very, very good question. You know what? I'm going to have to table this one because you can run a report to see if anything has alerted through that line. The way I generally do it is I have stocks that I'm looking at that I'll alert at that level. So very, very good question. By the way, everybody out there that's watching, IBD for this week only has a free offer, and I don't get paid anything on this. I wish I did an offer for a week of MarketSmith. This is the software I use. I think it's very, very good because it's very can slimmy. If that's a word, it's not really a word. And I've had very, very good success with this offer. It's a little pricey, but I think it's well worth it if you're an active trader. So just want to put that out there. I have puts on Disney. I like your view. Oh yeah, I think you're right, Mark. I think you're going to be. I think you're going to be well rewarded on Disney. I do. I think you're going to be rewarded here. I'm seeing it look, and I'm pushing back to the daily chart. It made this failed breakout. Made this failed breakout on the reversal line. Unfortunately, or fortunately for you, unfortunately, it then moving down. But I'm showing, at least in the short term, with that relative strength line going down, I'm showing it pulling back. So I think you're going to do well on these puts. But just when it starts reversing back and close out that position. But I think you can make some good coin on that. So very nice. Thanks for that. Thanks for the question, Mark. So appreciate it. Um, you asking that question because I think it's very instructive for everyone else. Um, you know, you can definitely, if you're a trend trader, doing, when a stock is moving into a downward trend, I mean, doing a cash secured put or possibly and there's probably if you have the money, a cash secured put on Walt Disney is tremendous. Unfortunately, it takes it takes about $18,000 to do it, but you just buy the, just do the put on it. Also, I would probably do a put spread on this, but also very good way to take advantage of some of that motion downward. So very, very good. What about VXX? So let's look at the VXX. If I can pull that up there, this is the VIX. Last year there was a thing and it kind of ended up getting sort of knocked out. It was called the T VIX, and it eventually got going to the downside. Here's the thing, I'm a little bit, this is there was the VXX. There was something called the T VIX, which is as it spikes in volatility, it can really really move. It can really rip up to the upside. Right now, obviously, the volatility is not as great as it was last year. So I think this is going to be a little bit tougher one to play. I definitely like it, but I don't think its market's rolled over. Now, I would keep this on your kind of your speed dial, because when the market does roll over, and I'm not saying it's gonna, but well, yeah, I am, because it always does. Then I think we're going to see some very nice action on the VXX. But right now, I think you kind of got to watch list it. Probably stay away from it a little bit. So Matador, this is another one I really like. This is what oil stock, MTTR. Is that right? No, M. Let's see if I got that right. Matador, MTDR. I believe that's it. Matador, MTDR. That's right. Okay, so Matador race searches. So MTDR, and this is one definitely worth looking at. Even though yesterday the oils have been pulling back a little bit today, but I still really like this area. I did buy the XLP. No, not XLP. XLE. I did buy the Spider Select Energy oil yesterday. It's pulled back a little bit, but it's still looking pretty good. This is a good area to be in. Matador Resources, definitely a good one. 96 relative strength, 80 checklist, and it does look like it's made this nice bounce off this consolidation bottom here. So this one's probably going higher. So I like this one. Now, would I buy it at this level? Well, that's on the weekly chart. Let's go to the daily chart to see if we could find an entry point. What I'm doing here is I'm drawing the reversal. So it's definitely just moved past the reversal line. So I would say that, and it's come right down to where that reversal line is. So I'm going to activate that reversal line. See if I can do it. If it'll let me. There we go. Set the alert. I'm going to do that because I do think that, I think this is probably gonna bounce at this line. This is not a bad place to be. What I did instead of buying an individual one is I used the XLE. It's the Energy Select Spider. This is what I did. The only reason is that I wanted to buy a whole bunch of them, so I did buy this one. I do think that we're going to see this one reverse higher as well. This is not a stock, of course. This is an ETF, but I'm going to draw a trend line there. It's almost identical to that kind of the kind of reversal that looks like is going to happen on Matador. So this might be a way that you can get exposure to energy, which I think is probably going to go higher because this is an inflation thing. So this is another way besides buying Matador or some of the others like Denbury. I also want to look at Denbury. That's probably the best in the group, but I don't think it's at a buyable level right now. Well, you probably could. This is Denbury. As you can see, it's almost a similar pattern, but this pulled below that reversal line. So here's how I would probably go about getting exposure to the oil sector, and that'd probably be with the XLE. That's probably where I do it. Okay, well, we're almost at the end of the hour here, and I want to take at least one more question. Uber, Disney. Okay, most of these stocks, these are kind of the meme stocks. Tilray, Tilray has not been doing well, unfortunately. Do you do options trading? Absolutely. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that options trading. I have a very nice little spread out here. I just kind of want to show you for everybody that's looking online. And you're unfortunately not going to be able to see this on TikTok, but what I can do is I can show you this on YouTube. So I do have a nice spread trade today that I kind of wanted to put out there for everybody. Um, and you just go to Dallas Trading Floor. That's GALLAS Trading TRADINGFLOOR.com. All right, we're pulling that up. There we go. And I'm going to go and show you kind of what it looks like on the screen. This is sort of what you'll see if you wanted to go and do this trade. Here's the thing. It's going to kind of look like this. Of course, we have the free action trade alerts, and I do put this out, several times a week. This, bunch of stuff, market direction, that kind of thing. Sort of our mailing list as well. First and last name and an email address. That would be great. Just hit that subscribe button. And then this is what I just put up today. This is a bull put spread on Moderna. And I think that Moderna has been one of the best performers. So I'm going to just go and show you kind of what it's going to look like. Kind of looks like this. I put my name in here, Jim Malone, and then put my email address in here. Of course, it's Dallas Trading, DALLASTRADINGFLOOR at gmail.com. So that's where you put your email address in there, and just click on that. And then it comes up this, and you should be able to see kind of what the bull put spread is on there. This is the one I did today. I think it's got a pretty high likelihood of success. This is going to put about $266 in your pocket. Now, hopefully, Moderna will head higher. This was the chart from earlier on today, and I do think we're starting to move up to 436. So that's looking good. It's up a little bit. It's up quite a bit higher than that right now. But this is the trade that kind of how it works. And as it moves higher, you see, then it goes into the green. Let's see where we. I want to see where we ended up today with Moderna. So let's see how this one's doing. I'm going to put up Moderna, MRNA. Of course, that's the symbol for Moderna. And kind of indicate it's 229 in the after hours. So this one, this trade here probably will do you pretty good. So this is something, and it's just free for everybody. I did this trade myself this morning, and as you can see, the price that Moderna closed at 429 and some change. Yeah, 499.40. That's the after hours. Closed at 427. So on this particular spread trade, I'll go back to over there to the spread trade. Let's see today, and let's see if we can share that out. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oops. Okay. So on this particular spread trade here, and if I get the right one, right there we go. Okay. So at 427, you see, we're a little bit under the water. Okay, but as you see, as it moves up, and it did move up today, and after hours moved up to 429. So basically right this. Okay, so we entered the trade. We're down about $65, but if it just stays level and it starts to reverse course, which it definitely is, then we should come in. We should make all the money back. And of course, this is per contract. You can go in with smaller or larger contracts on that as you like. I typically will do more contracts, but I always try to quote the one contract so you can kind of size it appropriately. Well, thank you, everybody. I think we have like one last question. Let's look at. Oh, I'm sorry, MTTR, not Matador. I am so sorry. I got that wrong. Let's look at MTTR. Let's go on that. Right, and I'm just going to go over to that, and we'll just pull that chart up. And this one is $18 stock. This is digital platform. Okay, so this is commercial services and advertising, 128 and 197. Don't like that. That's a little bit low, but it does look like it has pulled above the 1727 buy point. So there definitely is a first stage consolidation on this. So this is looking pretty good. And it does look like it did break out about 5 days ago. And so that's looking good. It's right above the buy point right now, so it's potentially buyable. Checklist is 67. Let's look at the ownership. It's got 30 funds. That's very good. It's just coming in to its own there. Let's look at the industry sector. So very good. 126. This is a little bit low, 126, but it is looking very good. This is actually looking like a pretty decent stock. Would I buy it at this point? Well, it's a tough place to make a decision to buy this. I probably would not buy this right off. I would probably watch list this one. But here's what I'd like to see happen. And that is I'd like to see it move above this higher high. So that's kind of where I want to put my alert on this one. So this is possibly buyable. This is possible, but I want to take it. I want to buy it as it's making a new higher high. Now this is also looking very good. This little Easter egg here says that this is the highest, the most volume since it moved through the buy point, the 1727 buy point. So this is looking quite good, and I have to admit, I do like this one. And thanks for bringing that up. Okay, this is going to be the last. Somebody goes to UTT. Oh, by the way, absolutely. You're absolutely welcome. I'm over here at right at the Preston Road and McCallum. So just give me a call and we can set up a time if you want to come by and take a look. Thanks. All right. Let's see. Let's go over Twitter. This is going to be the last one for today. And it's Twitter, TWTR. And look at Twitter. Okay, well, okay. This is a help I've fallen and I can't get up because this one has fallen below the 50-day line. I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing that. The question is, is there a place that we can possibly, is there a place that we can get back into Twitter? It was moving up so nicely with these two base on base patterns, very nice. And then it just pulls back and it looks like it's pulling lower today. You know what? I just wouldn't buy it until I see a reversal. But here's a little secret on how to get the reversal. You take the chart and you go from the highest high and then you move it through the intermediate high, that's here, and then you set an alert on that. And this is really going to be a reversal on Twitter, TWTR. So if this thing moves above, then it'll alert. But right now we just have to watch list this one. Unfortunately, we can't do it right now. So this is a watch list. This is not buyable. You want to buy it as it breaks out above that trend line. So right now, it's just not the place to be. So with that said, if you want to get on our mailing list, which is a good thing, also you can take a look at our spread trade that we have today, the one on Moderna. Super easy, www.dallastradingfloor.com. So until tomorrow at 3:30, I've gone later now just because it's easier after the market's closed to kind of analyze things. Well, it's tough when the market is closing. I definitely like it after the market's closed. That's the reason I rolled it back until about 3:30. Also, if you want to start your trading day, we have Dallas Trading Floor Discord room. And of course, that's available at www.dallastradingfloor.com. So until tomorrow at 3:30, happy trading, everybody. Keep safe, and I will see you back here tomorrow.